Hi, I'm Noah and I'm roasting every US president in order again. Today I'll be roasting second president and a man who looks like they ran out of rainbow dye for his clown wig, John Adams. Adams decided not to become a minister like his father wanted and instead pursue the law because he wanted a career where he would get deference from his fellows. I don't know if you have the reasoning necessary to be an attorney if your first pick for a job where everyone respects me is lawyer. When Adams was 24, he met his 15-year-old distant cousin, Abigail, who he would later marry, but at first meeting didn't really care for her, saying that she didn't seem fond or candid. I don't know, John. I think you actually might like it better when the 15-year-old girl you're trying to get to be fond of you isn't candid. Well, Adams was the ambassador to Great Britain post-independence. He saw an old friend from Massachusetts there who said that Adams was poorly suited to the position because he couldn't dance, drink, game, flatter, promise, or dress, and that there were thousands who would be better at the job. That's all pretty rude, but I do see some evidence that Adams was bad at the charming you need to do as a diplomat. For instance, all of those rude things were said by one of his friends. Adams was elected the first vice president of the United States, but received far fewer votes than the president, George Washington, which bothered Adams and led him to say that the vice presidency was a curse rather than a blessing. I don't know, I think we were blessed to have John Adams as our vice president. The vice president has virtually no power. As vice president, Adams got wrapped up in a debate about what titles the president should use, favoring His Highness, which he said was necessary to afford the office the proper respect, but ironically, Washington just found the whole thing annoying. It says a lot about how unlikable Adams was that he fought tooth and nail to make sure that people addressed Washington respectfully, but Washington would actually prefer that Adams just not address him at all. Adams was favored by Alexander Hamilton and the Federalist Party to succeed Washington, but Hamilton withdrew his support during the election when he realized that Adams wouldn't take direction and was too stubborn to control. You gotta hand it to Adams. It's impossible to betray your principles for corrupt reasons if you just never listen to anyone at all. Alright, please consider donating to help the family that I sponsor in Gaza. If you'd like to support me or watch bonus videos, please check out my Then let me know who else to roast, and join me next time for part 2 of my roast of second US president and a man who looks like a penguin trying out a more colorful suit, John Adams.